The International Society for Universal Dialogue was founded here in Warsaw in November of 1989. Today, we return to our birthplace. This is a time for homecoming. This is a time for celebration. This is a time to reflect on our past and to recall our guiding values and to imagine and reimagine our future.
I think it's really amazing endeavor. I think getting people from all over the world to be talking about issues that are currently important to us and to hear perspectives from different cultures and trying to dialogue between one another. And I think that's really something very special, very difficult. It's a big challenge.
ISUD is doing a pioneering work in the sense that in today's world, which is fallen to different kinds of strife and distances between human beings, it tries to put humanity on a common platform.
That's what makes this organization, ISUD, a unique one.
There comes a time in the life of an organization when, but for extraordinary dedication and courage of one or two people, that organization would fade and perish. Over the past 6 to 7 years, two people especially stand out. They are Charles Brown and Małgorzata Czarnocka, but for whom we would not be here. Please stand with me now to show our love and appreciation for these two remarkable people.
The best choice of the year to come to this conference.
The ISUD is probably one of the few philosophical organizations that is not based on a particular area of philosophy, but rather based on the idea of bringing together people from different countries and different cultures.
We need to inquire of the universality of all the human beings. Or you can also understand we can, through communication and dialogue, to construct the commonalities or the universalities for all human beings.
The conversation has been easy, it's been flowing. Like I said, there's a lot of benevolence. And so far, the paper presentations have been pretty good, and I'm a pretty rough critic of things like that.
Back in the 90s, all of us who at that time had these ideas about universal dialogue.
See how Kuczynski has seen that all disciplines can interact to solve one single problem, that all may be one.
So we are very pleased that we co-organize this 11th Congress here in Warsaw.
It's been a delight and a privilege to work to put this Congress together. I see lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces.
Our society principle could be to continue the efforts to better the world, to be together, and to differ beautifully. I am and will be with you. Professor Janusz Kuczynski. And now,
we can only hope that we will demonstrate the wisdom, courage, and leadership for our moment in history. When you look at the cover, it says the Journal of the International Society for Universal Dialogue. We're very pleased and privileged to have such a relationship with a journal. I would like to acknowledge the presence of one of the last remaining founding members of our society, Werner Kriegelstein. Werner, could you please raise your hand? And And thank you. He was here at the very beginning.
ISUD, I was present in the very early stages. Especially, I discussed the same points that I mentioned to you now, mainly with Professor Kuczynski and the other members of the ISUD before it was even ISUD. The best is to speak about universality or universalness. In that way, that was the reason why I put the questions as I did in my speech. I wanted to show that we must shift from universalism to universalness.
In my paper, I contrast two methods of arriving at a dialogue. One is Hegelian, and one is the methods that you find in the Chinese classic, the Book of Changes, or the I Ching. Because this whole conference is about dialogue, but we must decide how we can conduct a dialogue.
I use examples from Confucian tradition and the Buddhist tradition to illustrate the idea of engaged learning.
Young people are deprived of the resources to develop their emotional life in a proper way so that they can be prepared to reason well. So my service learning project is an attempt to deal with that problem in a 21st century context.
There is perfidy, there is conflict, there's all the problems we have in the world. So I think that the problem of the world is not matching word with action. So we should be truthful, say what we mean, and mean what we say, so that people can trust us, so that people can have confidence in us, so that there will be less conflict in the world. That's what my paper is about.
And if you don't understand what is goodness, and if you don't do anything called good, then the world is getting stagnated. We are getting static. Nelson Mandela will start small. This is the word I think he said. Start small.
You can make a difference.
Make a difference. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Aim at the sky, you may reach the ceiling.
This is all that I'm saying. Without ideals, the society cannot improve.
Exactly.
And those of us who believe in God, for us, religious utopias are important.
Religious intolerance needs to be addressed, and religious education is one of those strategies that we can apply.
From Ludmila's point of view, cosmopolitanism is the path to the new level of social being
and cultural being.
At first sight, we are strangers, and so we contradict the cosmopolitanism that you are suggesting in all that I heard so far. Why can't we start exactly from this point that we all have mothers?
Reproduction of life through the mother is an ipso facto basic understanding that we are all already related. I was interested in what I feel is lost sight of. What does it mean that we human beings are part of nature?
We have relationship to the world. It is through relationship to the world that we co-create our future. And we must do this realizing there are global implications to all of our actions. I felt directed by the original founder of this organization, Professor Kuczynski.
I will be talking about systems of privilege that include privilege based on ethnicity and race so-called, gender, economic status, nationality, religion, just about any group you can talk about.
Well, I'm worried about the digital revolution, what's happening to the world and to our conception of the world and a relationship between other people.
I wanted to show that art has a freedom, a life of its own, and it cannot be interpreted in terms of the functions of other institutions.
you see, that is why this dialogue is very necessary. You see, when we tolerate ourselves, when we discuss and look at the cultural variations, and then look at some good aspects, we can come together and accept our cultures, and there can be universalism.
Well, I was talking mainly about worldviews and the fact that people from different cultures have completely different ways of thinking about things.
Chinese philosophy is focused more on another important issue rather than ontology. That is what I call zhongdology. The zhongdology is based on the meaning of Chinese character zhong. Zhong literally means center.
We need to somehow generate some sort of basic common way of thinking about the environment and having a moral relationship to it that will help us work through these cultural tensions.
My topic was on overvaluation, and the paper was actually leading toward a discussion of fanaticism.
The idea is to change our psychology, our culture, our economy, our religious views, so that we don't take violence as a given.
Can you say something more about the role or function that culture has as it impacts science?
Could you bring an example of such visualization of philosophical thoughts or ideas?
Well, what is the difference between growth and development? Tell us the difference.
The two, they are different.
And I think we should start with a song that appeared in the movie last night, Three Friends.
Sister Marie Pauline Yimbo was one of the very first friends I've made, one of the very first lifetime friends I made in this organization, and that was about 25 years ago.
Reality is not one-sided. You cannot solve any problem by being myopic.
Usually philosophers are debating with each other, in Platonic terms, heuristic rather than dialectic. But this is the first time there's an attempt at actually getting philosophers to dialogue with each other.
I love it because it gives me the sense of very close community or a family.
One more stanza.
I think it's my fourth ISUD conference. What I like about ISUD is the plurality, the multiplicity of different theoretical, cultural perspectives that all come to the table.
This is one of the most significant things that are going on in the world today, the realization of the meaning of dialogue and how tremendously important that dialogue becomes in overcoming the rifts and separations which the world is so besieged by and immersed in.
There are some bad signs on the horizon, politically, culturally, but I think we're still better off than we were 50 or 100 years ago. We've built international connections, and we're better at understanding each other. So there are a few people that don't like it. There's a few kind of reactionaries, but those are old school.
There was a meeting of this society, which I had never heard of before, in Helsinki, Finland, but the topic had to do with rethinking concepts of nature, culture, and freedom. Since that time, I have attended every meeting. I have always prepared, and personally, it has provided a very important development of my research interests and forum that would otherwise not be available to me.
Jacobson talks about nature tends towards unification. So that's unity in diversity.
And so each of the papers was reviewed by at least 4 reviewers, and they all had a common rubric to judge the papers, and after 4 reviewers, the papers begin to sort themselves out. Kishan Yu. Dilip Kumar Mohanta. Jian Wang. Manjulita Ghosh. Andrew Fiala. Jonathan Shimakono. Richard Ivanhoff. Andrei Tardowski. Robert Allenson.
Article 5, number 2.
Advisory council composed of the former presidents.
You might burn through too many people.
To avoid that situation, then that board member can come back after 6 years.
And also, I think that we do have the possibility of not re-electing somebody who's up for re-election.
The first Congress I attended was in Hiroshima, which I was interested in because it's a peace focus, and I'm a peace philosopher. And what I like about the society is that it's trying to build cross-cultural, global connections, and if we're going to make a better world, we're going to have to do it this way.
I feel proud to be a part of that mission of ISUD.
Everything went off very well. Right.
The sense which I got was again of a community, of something practical, or trying to take philosophy to the people.
Professor Victor Krebs from Lima, Peru, who is not with us today. He had to leave one day earlier. He's been a member of the society for a number of years, and he has discussed with his university, it's the Pontifical Catholic University in Lima, Peru, and they have extended an invitation to us to hold the 2018 ISUD World Congress there. May you take with you as many good memories and feelings and as many new ideas as I am taking back with me to Lima. May dialogue continue to inspire our efforts and aims. Yours truly, Victor Krebs. Right? We also have an invitation to hold our next World Congress at Graz, Austria.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank everyone for this beautiful conference. Thank you very much. I want to say it should not be a competitive to Peru. I think it could be also in 4 years. If you could come to Graz, Austria.
If there's one wish that I would have for ISUD in the future, it would be that we build and enrich that personal community as well as to work on the ideals and values of our society. So thank you very, very much. And so I declare this conference closed.